Hey everybody, it's Mike here from The Art of Guitar. Today I'm actually going to do a redo of a video that I did last week. I rarely do this. Usually what I do is I'll put like an addendum video or I'll just put a comment about something that may have been overlooked in a video. But this time I thought it deserved a complete redo just because I know I could do it better. And today I got a comment and somebody pointed out a really awesome way. They have a video of Neil actually playing the end of the solo a certain way. And I thought, you know what, I didn't teach it that way, even though the way I taught in my initial video is very playable and it'll work. But this is actually a way cooler way to do it. And obviously, if Neil's doing it, it's going to be gold. I'll talk more about it when we get to that point, but let's start from the very beginning of one of the three things that seem to throw off a ton of guitar players when it comes to playing Don't Stop Believing. Now, obviously, one of the hardest things to do in this song is to do the crazy 4-note pattern that he does. The way Neil does it is he actually moves his first finger across the two strings, second and third strings, as he does the 4 notes. So he breaks it up like this. It's really difficult to do that part because you have to palm mute first of all, and then slowly release the palm mute as you speed up. And finally, you're at this insane speed, and then you have to end it with this double stop bend, which is pretty insane too. Such a scream and bend. So what I recommend is obviously try to do it the real way. If you could build up your speed to the point where you're just flying like Neil, that's cool. If you can't quite do that, you could do a little bit of a hack that I ended up doing, which is barring across with your first finger and then just rocking it back and forth as you try to keep it speeding up. You might get a little bit of bleed between the two strings, but you're going so fast it doesn't actually matter as much as you would think. And then just remember to end with that double stop bend, which is the 2 19th frets. You're just going to bend the second string 19th fret though. It can be kind of tricky to hit that bend right when the band does the hits. So one thing that Neil does live is he actually starts hitting it early. He'll do like 2 to 4 sometimes. It depends on the concert. But he'll do something like... It gives you a buffer so that you don't have to go right from doing that blazing lick and nail that bend right in time. You get a little bit of leeway. The second part that gives a lot of guitar players trouble, including me, I kind of had to come up with a weird workaround, is the fast note build-up into the solo. And if you look online, the tab says to do sort of a legato thing, like... That sounds really good, but if you listen to the recording, there's a lot more picking going on. It sounds like there's a lot more attack. So what I used to do is I would do those same notes, but I would John Petrucci it, I like to say. That's where you pick every note. It's 7 notes going up to the main bend. It took a lot of practice to be able to lock onto that, and I was always off time. It just seems like you got to throw so much before the main hit that it's a little bit confusing, especially live. So I took away one of the notes, and I ended up doing this instead. That seems to be a really good workaround if you just want to do that fast. There's just something about doing 6 notes leading up to it versus 7 that just seems to allow me to play in the pocket a lot better. Another thing that I've been recently doing, the hack that I kind of came up with, is this way of doing a rake instead. So you first start off with, it's a slide into a hammer-on, followed by a 3-string rake. You're basically sweep picking. And then when you do an upstroke, you're doing the bend. It feels really solid. And I actually slowed the main recording down 25%, and I really tried to dig out all the notes, and that's what I heard, these notes. So that's 4 options for you. I know one of those is going to work. And now for the part that I'm doing this entire video over for, and that's the very end. In the recording, he holds one of the notes and then an overdubbed guitar does 2 more higher notes. And live, Neil usually does this tapping version of it. It's not what's on the recording, but obviously it's Neil Schon doing his thing and he can do whatever he wants. So live, he just kind of spices it up a little bit with that tap bend. The reason this ending gets a little tricky is if you have a standard 22 fret guitar, it's kind of rough because the notes are D sharp to E, except an octave higher. So in order to do that, what I was doing was 22nd fret bend half step, then a whole step. The trouble with doing that live is it can be a little bit tough when you're on the spot and you're excited and the adrenaline's flowing to really nail those precise bends, especially that far up on a Les Paul. That's why when I got the comment from someone called Juntatsuoka3072, I had to investigate because it didn't sound right to me the way he was explaining it, but he provided a video link. And in the link, there's a video of Neil playing like on a Zoom jam type thing, and they show him do this really interesting way of pulling off the very end. And that's going to the 21st fret, bending that a whole step, which is a pretty common feeling to do. So there you took care of the D sharp by going back a fret and then bending up a whole step. That's a really interesting thing. Then to nail the E tone, just drop your pinky down while the note is bent. It's a really cool technique. I'm going to include this in my upcoming Neil Sean techniques video, so look forward to that. So you bend a whole step on the 21st fret, then you drop the pinky down on the 22nd fret as it's bent. I think the reason he doesn't do that all the time live is because playing a Les Paul, you kind of have to have it high up to pull that off correctly. It's a little bit easier to do his tap move, I believe. And so in this particular video where he's doing this bend technique, you could tell that his guitar's up pretty high. So I think that really helped him out being able to do this in that specific situation. But yeah, that's going to be the way I do it from now on. If I'm ever in a band that plays this song, I'm going to do the old bend on the 21st fret and then add the pinky on the 22nd fret. I just love that result of that one. Okay, everyone, thanks again for watching. We'll catch you at the next video. Bye-bye.